Good morning and welcome to the National Bank of Rwanda School Quiz Challenge 2023. My name is Gloria Munana and I'll be your host today. Today with us, we have two schools that faced each other in a challenge that was covered by RB. Today with us, we have 38 schools across the country that did concepts around financial issues, monetary policy, the bank's mandate, and many more. Today with us, we have our two finalists that are going to face each other in a challenge. All the way from the Thousand Province, let's welcome our reigning champions, Collège du Christ III. From the Kigali city, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Are you nervous? A little bit? No, calm down. Ladies and gentlemen, this challenge is composed of 6 segments, and only the top score from those two teams will take it home. So the first segment of the challenge is the quick fire. Questions will be asked in a structured format. Each team will take turns to answer the questions asked to them. Questions must be answered within 1 minute. Once a question is failed by one team, it will be passed to another team for half the points, and it will be answered in 30 seconds. Each question in this segment weighs 6 marks. Who wants to go first? Thank you, Collège Christ III. The first question. When does the Deposit Guarantee Fund reimburse an insured deposit?
Okay, thanks very much. DGF Fund will reimburse the insured deposit when the microfinance institution or bank becomes insolvent and the resolution is found to be the only resolution option for the insured deposit after insolvency. Yes.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. What is the current reserve ratio in Rwanda?
Reserve ratio in Rwanda is, first of all, it is the market force which is used by NBR to influence monetary policy. And I think it is 5.
Correct. Christ III. What is an internationally recognized indicator for measuring the size of an economy over a given period?
The right answer is gross domestic product.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. An economic arrangement between several regions characterized by coordination of their monetary and fiscal policies and the reduction of or elimination of trade barriers is known as?
Thank you. The correct answer is economic integration.
Correct. Collège du Christ III. Dash is a financial market with a maturity of less than 1 year.
Thank you. The right answer, it is money market.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Define the term fixed interest rate.
Fixed interest rate, it is the amount paid by the borrower during the aggregate duration of the entire loan. It remains fixed during the given period of the entire loan.
Correct. Judges? Thank you. This marks the end of our first segment. Dear judges, what's the score?
This is a tie, 18-18.
Thank you. Segment 2, the Brainstorm. Guidelines of the segment. Questions will be asked in a multiple choice format. Each team will take turns to answer the asked question. Question will be answered in 1 minute. Once a question is failed by one team, it will be passed over to another team and will be have to answer it in 30 seconds. Each question in this segment weighs 4 points. Question 1, Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. The access dimension of financial inclusion is defined as A, the act of meeting the requirements or completing the procedures that give a consumer the right to use a financial service. B, the availability of affordable and appropriate financial services to a given person. C, the ability of financial products and services to match clients' needs. D, the act of using financial services and products by individuals and firms to meet their financial needs. What's your answer?
Our answer is B, availability of affordable and appropriate financial service to a given person.
Correct. Collège du Christ III. Which market do companies use to issue corporate bonds? A, capital market, B, equity market, C, money market, D, all the above.
The right answer is A, capital market.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Which two microinsurance products are offered in Rwanda? A, credit life, B, retirement insurance, C, agriculture insurance, D, liability insurance. What's your answer?
Thank you. Our answer is A, credit life, and C, agriculture insurance.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. What happens when there is an increase in prices but falling in a country's output? A, inflation, B, deflation, C, recession, D, stagflation. What's your answer?
Okay, the right answer is D, stagflation.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. The following are some features that NBR takes to minimize and fight currency counterfeit, except A, improving security features, B, sensitize the public, C, changing each currency every 5 years, D, working closely with law enforcement officers. What's your answer?
Thank you. The correct answer is C, changing each currency every 5 years.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. When is inflation considered low and stable by the National Bank of Rwanda? A, when inflation is 5% in the medium term and within a band of plus or minus 4%. B, when inflation is at 5% in the medium term with a band of plus or minus 3% in the short term. C, when inflation is between 5 and 8%. D, when inflation is at 5%.
Okay, the right answer is B, when inflation is 5% in the medium term with a band of positive or negative 3% in the short term.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Before the maturity date, an investor can trade the treasury bond with the assistance of NBR as a last resort at a discount of A, 3%, B, 5%, C, 8%, D, 10%. What's the correct answer?
The right answer is A, 3%.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. Raising the central bank rate does the following. A, increase the short-term interest rates. B, discourage saving and investment. C, increases demand for goods and services. D, none of the above.
The right answer it is A, increase the short-term interest rates.
And that is correct, which marks the end of our second segment. Judges?
It's also a tie, 34-34.
Thank you. Let's go to segment 3, which is the face-off.
Excuse me, 16-16.
Thank you. Guidelines to this segment. During this segment, students will work as a team to answer questions assigned to them. All the questions will be multiple choice format and answered in turns. Question will be answered within 1 minute. Once a question is failed by one team, it will be passed over to another team for half the point and will be answered in 30 seconds. Each question now weighs 6 marks. Question 1, Collège du Christ 3. According to the Center of Financial Inclusion, the quality dimension of financial inclusion encompasses the following. A, suitable financial products and services. B, convenience of financial products and services. C, affordability of financial products and services. D, all the above.
The right answer is D, all the above.
And that is correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Which of the following is not among the functions of the Deposit Guarantee Fund? A, to assess and collect premiums from banks and microfinance institutions. B, to manage and invest the collected premium of the fund. C, to collect premiums from the government entities. D, to reimburse depositors their insured deposit in case of a bank or a microfinance institution failure. What's your answer?
The correct answer is B, to manage and invest the collected premium of funds.
Incorrect. Collège du Christ, do you want to take it on?
Yes.
What is the correct answer?
Okay, the correct answer is C, to collect premiums from government entities.
Correct. Collège du Christ again. When is a loan considered non-performing? A, after 90 days of non-repayment. B, after 180 days of non-repayment. C, when the borrower has a loan in another financial institution. D, after 60 days of non-repayment.
Thank you. The right answer is A, after 90 days of non-repayment.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. During the previous MPC meetings, NBR increased their CBR. What was the main motive? A, to reduce prices in the economy. B, to slow down inflation in the economy. C, to support economic growth and reduce prices. D, to stabilize interest rates in the economy. What's your answer?
Thank you. Our answer is B, to slow down inflation in the economy.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. Which of the following does not have an effect on damping consumer demand? A, higher taxes. B, reducing the demand for imports. C, reduction in government spending. D, higher interest rates. What's your correct answer?
The right answer it is B, reducing demand for imports.
And that is correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Below are the methods used to compute interest rate on a money market instrument, except A, the discount yield, B, investment yield, C, the bond yield plus risk premium, D, bond equivalent yield. What's your correct answer?
The answer is C, the bond yield plus risk premium.
That is correct. Collège du Christ 3. In implementing monetary policy, NBR does the following to ensure the interbank rates move in tandem with its central bank rate. A, regularly project liquidity and accordingly intervene in the money market. B, encourage banks to price according to the CBR. C, regularly project liquidity and force banks to price below the CBR. D, all the above. What's your correct answer?
Seconds.
The right answer is B, encourages banks to price according to the CBR.
Incorrect. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux, do you want to take it on? What is the correct answer?
Our answer is A, regularly project liquidity and accordingly intervene in money market.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux again. Which institution or institutions manages the fiscal policy in Rwanda? A, National Bank of Rwanda. B, Minecofin. C, Rwanda Bankers Association. D, NBR and Minecofin. What's the correct answer?
Thank you. Our answer is NBR and Minecofin.
Incorrect. Collège du Christ 3, do you want to take it on?
5 seconds.
The right answer is A, NBR, National Bank of Rwanda.
Incorrect for both teams. The correct answer is B, Minecofin. Collège du Christ 3. Rwanda's economy declined by 3.4% in 2020 due to COVID-19, but bounced back in 2021. What was that? A, a depression. B, economic crisis. C, a recession. D, none of the above. What's your correct answer?
The right answer it is a recession.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. The insurance sector is composed of the two following categories. A, long-term insurance business. B, short-term insurance business. C, mid-term insurance business. D, all the above. What's your correct answer?
The answer is A, long-term insurance business, and B, short-term insurance business.
Correct. And that marks the end of our segment. Judges?
LMDC 21, Collège du Christ 3 27.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move to our fourth segment, which is the true or false. This segment, questions will be asked in an open-ended format. Each team will take turns to answer the questions asked to them. Questions will be answered in 30 seconds. Each question weighs 4 points. Question 1, LNDC. GDP per capita allows you to compare the prosperity of countries with different population sizes. True or false?
Thank you. Our answer is true.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. When the central bank sells treasury securities, this increases money supply in the economy. True or false?
Marcos, thank you. The right answer is false.
And it's correct. LNDC. According to IMF guidelines, the minimum amount of reserves is at least 2 months of import cover for developing countries. True or false?
The correct answer is false.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. National Bank of Rwanda fixes lending rates that commercial banks charge borrowers. True or false?
The right answer it is false.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. The monetary policy framework is comprised of operation target, intermediate target, monetary policy instrument, and policy objective. True or false?
Thank you. Our answer is true.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. The financial service provider does not have the right to amend the contract after signature. True or false?
The right answer is true.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. DGF covers all interbank deposits for banks and microfinance institutions. True or false?
Thank you. The answer is false.
And that is correct. Collège du Christ 3. Since NDFIs are non-deposit taking, they should not comply with regulation on financial consumer protection. True or false?
Okay, the right answer is false.
And that is true. LNDC. Base money is called high-powered money because of the ability to create other forms of money through the money multiplier. True or false?
Thank you. Our answer is true.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. In a currency union, given the role of monetary policy is not enough, there is a need to have fiscal policy available as a stabilization tool at the country level. True or false?
Thank you. The right answer is true.
And that is correct, which marks the end of our fourth segment. Judges?
LNDC 20, CRIS 3 20.
Thank you. Which goes to segment 5, the odd man. In this segment, questions will be asked in a multiple format, choice format. Teams will take turns to answer the question and identify the odd man out. Questions must be answered within 1 minute. Once a question is failed by one team, will be passed over to another team for half the point, and a question should be answered in 30 seconds. Each question here weighs 4 points. Question 1, Collège du CRIS 3. The following documents are required for non-deposit-taking financial institution to open a branch. A, NDFI senior management decision to open a branch. B, quarterly statement showing its lending rates. C, branch charter that includes the business analysis. D, branch charter that includes the profitability assessment. What's the answer?
The right answer it is B, quarterly statement showing its lending rate.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Components of best money in Rwanda spot the odd man out. A, reserve balances of commercial banks at BNR. B, cash in vault in the banks. C, deposit in banks. D, currency in circulation in public.
Thank you. Our answer is C, deposit in banks.
Correct. Collège du CRIS 3. What should the financial service provider publish in key fact assessment? Spot the odd man out. A, fees in cards. B, interest rates. C, the charges and fees of other financial services provided for comparison. D, charges to be paid on every financial service or product.
The right answer is C, the charges and fees of the other financial service provider for comparison.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. The National Bank of Rwanda regulates and supervises the following financial institution. Identify the odd man out. A, banks. B, capital markets. C, insurance companies. D, payment service providers.
Thank you. The answer is B, capital markets.
Correct. Collège du CRIS 3. Information required to identify the best saving deposit account. Spot the odd man out. A, whether the interest rate is fixed or variable. B, how much interest you shall earn. C, how interest rate is calculated. D, the size of financial institution.
The right answer it is D, the size of financial institution.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. If the government decided to increase taxes, lower expenditures, and keep transfers constant, what type of fiscal policy would it be? A, expansionary fiscal policy. B, contractionary fiscal policy. C, balanced fiscal policy. D, loose fiscal policy.
Thank you. Our answer is B, contraction fiscal policy.
Correct. Collège du CRIS 3. Action of the National Bank of Rwanda to minimize cases of counterfeit. Identify the odd man out. A, sensitizing the public. B, working closely with law enforcement officers. C, assisting to prosecute counterfeits. D, injecting more currency in circulation.
Thank you. The right answer is D, injecting more currency in circulation.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Identify the odd man out. A, inflation erodes the value of money. B, inflation increases the purchasing power of households. C, inflation can negatively affect savings. D, inflation leads to loss of business confidence due to uncertainty. What's the correct answer?
The correct answer is B. Inflation increases the purchasing power of household.
Correct. And ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of our segment. Judges?
16-16.
Segment 6, which is the lifesaver. Questions will be answered in a structured format. Each team will take turns to answer questions asked. Each question must be answered in 1 minute. Once a question is failed by one team, will be passed over to another team for half the marks and half the time. Each question weighs 10 points. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Define the term interoperability.
Interoperability refers to the consumer's ability to transact with a competing financial service provider.
Correct. Collège du CRIS 3. What is the difference between a discount method and an investment method used to compute interest rate on money market instruments?
Thank you. The discount method relates to instruments face value, while the investment method related to investment method related to instruments purchase price.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. What type of inflation measures excludes certain items that exhibit volatile price movements like fuel and fresh foods?
Thank you. Our answer is core or underlying inflation.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. What is monetary policy transmission mechanism?
Okay, thanks. Monetary policy transmission mechanism is the process through which monetary policy affects the price and the economy.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. How can your credit report become your collateral?
Thank you. First of all, when your information about credit repayment goes into CRB or Credit Reference Bureau, it takes those information and put in data that determine or that prepare your credit profile. If your credit profile is positive, that means that you have centered your obligation that you have with your financial institution. When you have positive profile, it means that you have reputational collateral. You can use it to get a loan because the loan providers will have faith in you that you are a person who repay your loans depending on your present and past behavior on how you pay your loan.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. Transparency is a key requirement to protect consumers of financial service and products. How do NDFIs comply with the transparency principle?
Thank you. The NDFI comply with transparency principle whenever they report, they give annual reports to the central bank for the assessments, and whenever they comply with the consumer financial protection law provided by the National Bank of Rwanda, and do not take deposits as compiled by the National Bank of Rwanda.
By a smaller addition, also, an NDFI can post term and condition related to a financial product and put its license in the noticeable location in the administrative building so that anyone can inquire with them, yes.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. What happens to the trade balance when a country's domestic currency highly appreciates in terms of other currencies, other factors remaining constant?
Thank you. When the domestic currency highly appreciates, it will lead to export goods to be expensive and hence lose market in foreigners' countries and hence reduce goods which are going outside the country.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. What is the main purpose of NBR in regulating payment system as part of its responsibility?
Okay, the main purpose of NBLI in regulating payment system is to bring the payment system providers in the regulatory scope of the overseer and order to collect information for the monitoring and assessing the operation to ensure that it doesn't bring the risk to the financial system.
Correct. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux. Define the term GDP rebasing.
GDP rebasing is the process of replacing old base year which used to compare volume of GDP with the new and current base year or price structure.
Correct. Collège du Christ 3. State one benefit of GDP rebasing.
Thank you. The benefit of GDP rebasing is that it allows the government to have to know the good structure and size of the economy.
That is correct, which marks the end of our segment and the end of our challenge. Judges?
50-50.
Total score?
Total score is for LNDC 141, Collège du Christ 3 147.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to our two finalists. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux, how are you feeling?
Disappointed. but it's okay. We learn from mistakes, so we're good.
We learn from mistakes. Collège du Christ 3, how are you feeling to be the previous reigning champion and again the champion?
Thank you. It's a good pleasure to be the champion. And also this year, it was hard for our preparations from the first stages. We passed through many difficulties, challenges. We did many questions, but we're happy to win the final at this stage.
Thank you so much. Again, another round of applause to our winner and runner-up. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to welcome the Director General of the Rwanda Education Board to award our runner-ups. The runner-ups? Girls. The runner-up team will take home certificates of participation for each student, a laptop that will help them in their studies, and a trophy. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the Governor of the National Bank of Rwanda to award our winners. The winners will take home certificates of participation, a trophy for winning, and laptops that will help them in their studies. A round of applause to our winner again. Thank you so much. You may take your seats. Take your seats. I'll request all the participants to regain their seats. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite our guest of honor, the Governor of the National Bank of Rwanda, for his remarks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Gloria. The Director General of Rwanda Education Board, the representative of the University of Rwanda, heads of schools that we are witnessing here as the finalists of our 2023 Quiz Challenge. colleagues from the National Bank of Rwanda, our finalists, the students from the two schools. Good morning. I hope it is still morning. It's just turned afternoon anyway. It's always a pleasure to be here to witness the finals of this school quiz challenge. It's a moment to appreciate the seriousness, the level of education of our students, but most importantly, the zeal by these young kids to understand and learn practical knowledge on our economy and our financial sector. So we want to thank all the schools that participated in this year's quiz challenge. As you heard, I think our MC said it as we are opening this session. We had 38 schools competing from all the provinces. And we had 4 schools per province competing against each other, then 2 continued to the next level. And we're happy that today, for the finals, we have 2 schools coming from different provinces. At least we are not concentrated in one province, which shows that we have good education centers across the country. Our aim for organizing this quiz challenge as part of BNR Engage. BNR Engage is a channel through which we engage the public, we engage economic actors to understand the economy, to understand our financial sector, to understand what the National Bank of Rwanda does as part of the institutions managing our economy. And so this particular school quiz challenge focuses on secondary schools. And we worked with schools to form economic clubs within their schools, and we share with them materials. So it's part of really helping young people to understand the economy. It's creating economic actors that in future will be leaders, but also in future will take economic actions that from an understanding point of view that one, they understand what it means to the economy, they understand what it means to themselves. So this is really our aim, is to have a mass of young people understanding what it takes to be an actor in an economy, but most importantly, interesting them to be part of this journey of managing our economy, we encourage them to aim to be staff of the central bank, we encourage them to aim to be staff of the Ministry of Finance and other institutions that are in the economic management of our country. And they tend to understand when we talk of monetary policy decisions at the end of the day, I'm sure these kids today will understand better when we say we've raised the monetary policy rate, what is the objective. And when we educate young students, we know they're having impact also on the economy. I mean on the community in general. It's not going to remain with them individually, but we have confidence that this will also have an impact on our communities and on communities in general. So that's why we really want to appreciate all the schools that participated in this challenge, the students themselves that took time to understand, to go through the materials we shared with them. And in a special way, I want to thank and congratulate the finalists of our quiz today. There's the Chris Chirwa and Risse Notre Dame de Store. We appreciate the efforts you put in. I think they told us when they're beginning why and how they managed to be here as finalists. And we saw it as they were being asked questions. I really liked the way they are consulting each other. Team building is one thing that leads to success in anything we are doing in your life. So we are happy that you use that team building factor to be where you are today. And of course, in a special way, College Chris Stewart to be the winners of this challenge for 2 consecutive years. We really appreciate that, and we want to thank the headmaster that is here with them, and their teachers, and their teacher here with them. that shows the importance you attach to this whole process, but also shows the importance you attach to education of your students in general. I was really happy and amazed the way these kids were able to answer these questions. I was just disappointed by one that they both failed to answer. And it's key, it's very important. I want to come back to it and stress it. The managers of fiscal policy and managers of monetary policy. So the National Bank of Rwanda, or the central bank in any country, manages monetary policy. And the Minister of Finance, let me say Minister of Finance, in some countries economic planning is part of it or different. So the Minister of Finance manages the fiscal policy. And these are supposed to be managed independent of each other. For the success of the monetary policy, it has to be managed independent of the fiscal policy. And when I say independent, doesn't mean they don't talk to each other. We talk to each other. We really complement each other, but there's always a clear line between the two. We avoid the fiscal policy or the fiscal authority, the Minister of Finance, to influence and direct the direction of the monetary policy. The monetary policy is really about dealing with price stability as the main objective of the monetary policy. And this is the preoccupation of the central bank and the National Bank of Rwanda in this case. So I just wanted to stress that because I saw our kids didn't pick it during the questions. Otherwise, we'll congratulate you and we thank you, and we're always here to work with you, and we thank our colleagues from the education sector, the DG Rwanda Education Board, who is representing the Minister of Education here. And what we are doing here, we are really contributing to the knowledge of these students, which is part of the education in general. And we're happy that we have the institutions responsible for education in our country partnering with us in this exercise. So I want to thank in especially our team from the National Bank of Rwanda that organized this. They went up and down across the country because the first quiz were held in our branches in different provinces. So we really thank you for doing a good job and supporting these kids, organizing this wonderful venue where we are having this. And in another special again, we want to thank RBA for accepting to partner with us in this finals for this quiz. So we bring in RBA for this live coverage of this because we expect what the students are answering here, the questions being asked here, is not only for the benefit of the finalists here, but we hope and expect that there are many that has been following us live on this through RTV for their benefits. Our aim is education, and as we said, our aim is really education. It's about knowledge. It's not about passing your exams, but it's about knowledge, practical knowledge of what happens in economic and financial sector management of our country. So once again, thank you, and again, congratulations to the winners of today. We wish you all the best. Thank you.